Hello and welcome. Today we'll learn how to add an asset using the Add Asset feature of the Asset Management module. Once inside the Add Asset form, fill in the details as required by your organization. All the asterisk-marked fields are compulsory to fill. We'll start by filling in a dummy asset name as HP Laptop and uploading a dummy image. Next, we'll move on to the Asset Code field. Although it's an optional field, you may fill in a desired asset code as required or mandated by your organization, as demonstrated here. You may also leave the field blank for the asset code to get generated automatically once the asset is added successfully. As we have done here, the category and location drop-downs follow a parent-child concept. We'll navigate to the parent drop-down and then select the child drop-down for both category and location. Then we'll re-navigate the location drop-down to a parent drop-down and select it for your reference. The status is primarily categorized into two sections, allotted and unallotted. The admin can set the naming convention in the drop-down as per organizational need as represented here. The additional information section allows you to record any additional information about the asset. You may update the asset condition at the time of procurement or transfer from the condition drop-down as shown. You could also fill in the brand and model details of the asset. Linked asset allows us to link the current asset with an existing asset. For example, while adding a mouse you may link it with a laptop. The description and serial number can be filled if required. The Upload Files button allows us to attach any relevant document of an asset like manuals, insurance, etc. for record keeping. A set of dummy information has been filled in here for your reference. In the purchase information, we can put in all the purchase details associated with the asset. You may select a vendor name from the Vendor Name drop-down. Then select an invoice date of the asset from the calendar pop-up. Moving on to the PO number field, we can fill in the PO number if available, otherwise, we can just leave it blank. We've placed a dummy PO number for your reference. For the invoice number field, you may again fill in the invoice number available to you or just leave it blank. We'll be filling in a dummy number for your reference. Next, we select the asset purchase date from the purchase date pop-up calendar and move on to filling in the purchase price of the asset. Here, we are putting a hypothetical value as an example. If the asset is self or partner-owned, we must select yes using the toggle button and move on to selecting the partner's name from the drop-down. This feature is to be used only in case of the assets being owned by a vendor or customer. Moving to the financial information, we'll cover the assets, capitalization price. Capitalization price can help determine the value of an asset over a useful period instead of being expensed in an instant. The value can be selected from the arrows given in the field or can be typed as shown. End of life can be selected from the pop-up calendar. Capitalization date, select the date from the pop-up from which the value of the asset is to be capitalized. Depreciation is the percentage at which the asset will be depreciated. The depreciation details can later be viewed from the depreciation report. Please note that any self or partner-owned asset will not be shown in the depreciation report. Income tax depreciation, the percentage of depreciation as per income tax. The scrap value of an asset is the value at which the asset has been scrapped. This value cannot be more than the capitalization value of the asset. The error pop-up will be shown while saving for your reference. Lastly, the accumulated depreciation is the value of depreciation accumulated throughout the period of asset utilization. The allotted information section is for filling up the allotment details of an asset. We can select the department from the drop-down to which the asset is going to be allotted to. We must select a Transferred to from the Transferred to drop-down, as we set the status of the asset as in use, in the earlier section. If we go back and change the status of the asset to in stock and come down to the allotted information, we'll see that the Transferred to field disappears from the section. We'll again go back to the main section and change the status back to in use. Then we'll come back to the allotted information and select a transferred to person from the drop-down and select an allotted up to date from the pop-up calendar. In the warranty information, we can fill in the warranty details of the asset. We can select an AMC vendor from the drop-down. Next, we can select the warranty vendor from the drop-down. Moving on, we can also fill in the AMC start date, AMC end date, insurance start date, insurance end date, warranty end date, and warranty start date, as required, and click Save to add the asset. As stated earlier, we must fix the financial information as the scrap value exceeds the capitalization or purchase value. We'll move back to the financial information and lower the scrap value. Please note that for the correct financial information, contact your organization admin or finance team. We'll now move back down and save the asset. Now, we navigate to the panel on the left side of our screen and click on the asset list to view the newly added asset. That is all for this video on how to use the Add an Asset using Add Asset feature from the Asset Management module by Asset Infinity. See you in the next one.